Hello and welcome to the podcast. I'm the host. My name is Tavishima Ayede. I'm a former lawyer turned business consultant, and what I do here every day is I solve business problems. And today, the business problem that we're solving is almost plenty. It is plenty. But the summary of what we're going to be tackling here today is we're going to be using a live case study for determining or for deciding who is worth spending time with as a prospect or as a potential customer. Now, this is something I've been talking about on the podcast, over and over and over and over. And also, this is one of the reasons why I say for those of you who are discovering the podcast fresh, today, you know, take some time, listen to about 3, 4 weeks, maybe even more worth of episodes and get familiar with the thought process about how to sell. Because for those of you who are discovering the podcast for the first time, like this chap who I'm talking with right now, Emmanuel Francis, you see that I've dealt with a lot of this in previous episodes. But the thing is, for the benefit of those who are listening to the podcast today, who are just discovering the podcast today, I want to use this as a live episode to show, as a live case study to show that it is not every single person who you are talking with that is worth your attention. Please listen. Whether you're a service-based professional like me or Emmanuel Francis, it's Emmanuel. By the way, shout out to Emmanuel Francis, listener of the podcast. He considers himself to be a founder and the content manager, consultant, that sort of thing. So this is based off of conversations that we've been having in WhatsApp. But it's a case study to show how it is not everybody that is worth your time. It is not everybody that is worth your attention. How do you decide the kind of prospect, the kind of potential customer to be spending time with? It's not everybody that we give face to. It's not. If we do, there are some people that will positively ruin us. They will finish us. Because it's normal. Everybody wants something for free. People will try their luck. It's normal. It happens in every business. I mean, like, Emmanuel, think about it. You're reaching out to me because you want free advice, right? It's the same thing. If anybody can get anything for you for free and get away with it scot-free, man, they will do it. So, please. Anyway, so that's what we're talking about today, basically. How do we decide who is worth spending our time with? How do we decide which potential customer is a good one so that we'll continue the conversation? Now, this is not just for people who are selling products, but for service-based professionals as well. So somebody should not listen to this and say, oh, Emmanuel will make content and he will shoot videos and blah, blah, blah. So I don't deliver anything concrete or anything tangible like that. So therefore, this doesn't apply to me. It applies to you, no matter what it is that you do. So the principles apply. Let's just try and tease out all the principles. Oh, by the way, if you'd love to connect with me, just like Emmanuel Francis did, then you can call me, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. Then if you don't have time to listen to long podcast episodes like this, send me a WhatsApp message. I'll add you to the WhatsApp group, and there you can get PDF summaries, 5 pages max, not more than 3 to 5 minutes to digest, so that you can get the key points, the key takeaways, sharp, and then you go and apply. But then before I continue, apologies, Emmanuel Francis, because I'm going to be using some strong language in this podcast episode. It's not that I'm trying to drag you in public. It's just that I want to make sure that I stress the dangers involved here. So, bro, it's not as if I'm trying to drag you, okay? I'm just trying to prove a point, and I'm trying to prove the point in the strongest terms possible so that you can take dressing and so that nobody will take advantage of you in the future. Also, so that any other person who is listening now, whether you're in the tech space and you sell web development, or whether you're trying to run a fintech or something like that, and people are saying, give me small, let me taste and see whether this thing is good before I'll pay you, no matter what it is you do. All right, so let's get straight into it now. So, Emmanuel Francis, founder, business, and runs a business consultancy firm, also dabbling as a content manager. So we've been having these conversations from about the 6th of August. So for Emmanuel, it's not too late now. It's okay because today's date is the 7th. Abi is the 8th of August. So it's okay. Yeah, we're still fresh. So let me go through the WhatsApp messages now. And then just like with the other case studies, I'll make a couple of comments. So, yeah, Emmanuel Francis building a business consultancy firm. But in my own opinion, actually, what you run is an agency because you carry out work on behalf of people. So, a consultant is more cerebral. You give your opinion, here's my report, and then you free it. But then if you're going to actually start doing things on behalf of the client, then you have gone beyond. You now don't enter agency, which is why for advertising firms, we don't call them advertising consultancy, we call them advertising agency. Because you will give the advice, you submit your report, then you now carry the money and you now start going to go and buy advertising slots, whether on radio or digital or TV on behalf of the client. So, Mr. Emmanuel, I think you run an agency, but let's not quibble over names. So, Emmanuel came across the podcast episode that I made, and the podcast was called Targeting for Revenue, Making Online Ads Work for SMEs, that is small and medium scale enterprises. Again, if you want to find the podcast episode that Emmanuel used, to locate me, and that's how we started talking. The episode was titled Targeting for Revenue, Making Online Ads Work for SMEs. So he said he implemented some of the ideas and he raised a couple of questions. He wanted my perspective on that. But the thing is, we didn't even have that conversation because, man, we got sidetracked on a very, very important issue that he wanted my opinion on. So, okay, well, he thanked me for responding. Yeah, don't worry. Anybody who reaches out, I respond. It's me for now. When I become a big boy, it's my PA that will be answering. But for now, it's still me. So, Emmanuel had a prospect that he met recently. They had a discovery meeting, and then this prospect agreed that she has a clear need. And her problem is that she needs lead generation for her business. And Emmanuel said that she's open to solving the problem. The woman's business is she does stationery for children and stuff like that. So the woman admits that she has a problem. And so, because of that, Emmanuel Francis thinks that this is a good woman to continue conversation with. Before we even got to what the problem was, I could already tell that there's issue. This is the issue. Emmanuel Francis, or any other person who is listening, you meet a prospect. The prospect says with their mouth that they have a need and that they're willing to solve the problem. The fact that they have admitted those two things does not mean that they are worth spending time with. When we have a discovery meeting with someone, discovery just means we're trying to figure out, is this person worth spending time with? Who is this person? What is their problem? How did the problem start? How big is the problem? Is it a problem I can solve? Are we in agreement over money? All these sorts of things. That's the focus of a discovery meeting. So when we meet someone for the first time and we're having the discovery meeting, there are a couple of factors we should look at to decide whether they are good for us to continue talking with them or not. Please listen. Those of you who are service-based professionals, it applies to you as well. You're selling a fintech idea, this applies. You sell insurance, this applies. You're an architect, this applies. All right? If you sell a Lubo wholesale, this applies to you. Everybody. So when you're talking to someone for the first time, the first thing you're trying to figure out is, do they have a want or a need? By the way, everybody will say yes, they have a need. But it depends. You have to ask more questions. For those of you who are long-term listeners, remember, for that my client who sells solar, remember that the person, let's just call him Randy, okay? Not that he's Randy, but his name begins with R, and I can't think any other R name. I don't want to use his real name. So Randy said that this woman has a want, she has a need. Randy said this woman has a need, and then she has the money. Doesn't know why this woman will not pay. By the way, stop thinking like that. How do you know they have money to pay? Did they tell you? Then how do you know they really have a need? Did you confirm? So I took this woman's phone call and then I called her up. This is Randy, you know, selling solar. And I started having conversations with the woman. This was the scope I used. I was like, hey, am I speaking to so and so? She said yes. I said, I'm from this company. You spoken to my associate earlier, Randy. I'm just calling to be sure that everything is going okay. Shay Randy is taking good care of you. Say, yeah, the conversation has been going all right, blah, 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 blah. So, madam, I just wanted to confirm a few things. I can see on file that we've already issued you like three invoices. The first invoice was like this. We cut it to like this. And then we cut it like this. So how come I like what's going on? So the thing is too expensive, blah 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 blah. So, okay, really? What kind of load were you trying to power? Gist. And then I said, and then from there I entered into. Oh, by the way, ma, do you live in the band A neighborhood, or is it band C, band D? She said, oh, it's band A. And I was like, wow, band A. How do you cope with all those expensive, whatever? Because myself, I live in the band A neighborhood and I know what it is that we're paying. See, this is the reason why you build rapport with people. From that conversation, the woman admitted, she said, our chairman has already spoken to Nepal. So they came and did something here. So we're not really paying that much. Listen carefully. She lives in the Bandai neighborhood. But they went to go and do something with NEPA. Some officials came and did like this, did like this. So the meter is not running like it's supposed to run. So it means she's not spending money. The rest of us on band A were spending hundreds of thousands. She's not spending hundreds of thousands. Then we continue. I said, okay, so if it's like that, man, why are you even looking at solar? She said, and her daughter, sometimes NEPA will take light 1 hour, 2 hours. Her daughter will start to cry. Her daughter doesn't like the dark and blah, 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 blah. We just talk around and everything. But at the end of the day, I had to press her. I said, look, madam, chairman has already sorted this thing. People are not really paying hundreds of thousands. And, with your daughter crying, about the darkness, ma, if you just buy solar lamp, you know that one will solve this problem. She's saying it's true. I said, ma, honestly speaking, is there any need for us to continue this conversation? It's not as if you really need the solar. She said, and that is true. I said, okay, no problem. So in that case, I can just tell Randy. So Randy won't be calling you again. What we'll do is once in a while, we're going to send you email. Any promo, any price reduction, any, something like that, we'll just keep you up to date. She said, no, Hannah, no problem. Ended the call. Then, and I'll call Randy back. I said, Randy, sure you see. You thought this woman was a good lead. Meanwhile, she's not. She used her mouth to say, I want solar. Does not necessarily mean she needs solar. Because as far as NEPA is concerned, she doesn't have a problem. She's in a place where they're receiving band A light, which means they receive power 20 hours every single day. Then, they're not paying hundreds of thousands like other people. I don't want to call the amount that she said, but she's not paying up to 100,000 to receive this quality of power. So somebody like this kind of woman, even if with her mouth she will say she needs solar, because we've asked the right questions, can you see that truly she does not need solar? Because any which way she will receive 20 hours of power every single day, and she won't pay up to 50k. I won't say the exact amount she's paying, but she will not pay up to 50k. That kind of person does not have a problem. Regardless of whatever they say, they do not have a problem. She will always have light. Food in her deep freezer will never spoil. Food in her fridge will never spoil. Her phone will always have charge. Her laptop will always have charge. What again? You feel me? So sometimes it's not based on what people say with their mouth that it means they're interested, they're not interested. You are a salesperson, you are a business owner, you are the professional. You will ask more questions. From the answer you will get, you'll be able to infer that, okay, this person is serious, this person is not serious, this person is interested, this person is not interested. So, Emmanuel Francis, that this woman used her mouth and say, yeah, I would like to have more leads in my business. I would like to have more business. It does not mean she's interested. Anybody can say it. Talk is cheap. Anybody can say, yeah, I would like some more customers. Even myself, if you ask me, I'll say, oh yeah, I would like some more customers. The question is, the person that I'm talking to who is promising more customers, do I think the person is worth it? Am I willing to pay for it? Like those are the bigger issues. Emmanuel, I hope you get me. It's not what people just say on their mouth first time like that. We'll ask questions. we'll figure out exactly what it is that is going on. So, want or need, it's not just a matter of asking them, are you interested? You ask some more questions. So, apart from that want or need, another thing we're going to try and figure out is afford. And Emmanuel, that is the thing that is paining me the most. In this whole conversation that we've had, you and the woman, you haven't started talking money. And you have been going for a meeting. You have gone to her office, if I'm correct, like 2 times. She wants you to come again. Ah, how will I go to your office 3 times? We have not even discussed money. I'm burning transport and I'm burning time. We have not even discussed money. I don't know whether she can afford me or not. Why am I going to the office? So, Emmanuel is okay. You didn't know. So now I'm telling you. Any other person eh, who is listening now, even if you have a startup, you sell fintech, you've gone to the person's office 3 times. You don't know whether they can even afford the fintech solution that we're trying to sell. Why? We also need to have money conversations. So if you listen to Brian Tracy, his old stuff, he will say want, need, afford. Then other people like Grant Cardone and other thinkers will now say urgency. So basically, you're talking to somebody, want, need, afford, urgency. If this is your first time of hearing this thing, pull out a sheet of paper, write it now. Want, need, afford, urgency. Then you take that paper, you sellotape it on your desk. All right? So that anytime somebody calls you or somebody sends you a DM in Instagram, you look at that sheet of paper, want, need, afford, urgency. You start asking them questions about what they want, questions about what they need. You will start talking about what they can afford, and then you will try and figure out some urgency. It is only when you can get some information on all three of them that you now say, okay, yes, I can go to this person's office, or yes, I can send a proposal. If you have information on one, it's still shaky. So they have a need. You know for sure that they have a need. Okay, let's say this woman living in Abuja. So let's say, yes, band A. And let's say she's paying 650 every single month. So there's a need. She really wants this thing. There's a need. But if truly she's a retiree and her pension is only 150K every month, how should go do it now? How would she do it? So I have a need. Urgency. I want to do it now, now, if possible. But her pocket and your price, the gap is too much. So how she go do it? That kind of person. I mean, well, God takes care of us all. But at the end of the day, you want to dash her the solar for free? How for do? She's not worth your. Okay, if I say she's not worth your time, that sounds too harsh. But she's not. We shouldn't be investing time here. Let me just put it that way. So, Emmanuel, it's not just want or need. We also have questions about afford, what they can afford, and then questions about urgency. And it is when we have answers to all these questions that you will know somebody is a good person to be spending time with. If you're worried about broaching the money conversations, Emmanuel, one simple method, excuse me, that I talk about on the podcast is not the best, but it's easy to apply, is when you use a budget. Because if you're a pro in your field, when people start talking, you kind of have a sense. So, like if you're a tailor and somebody says, oh, my daughter is getting married, I want a halter top, halter neck, V neck, back neck, mermaid dress with Egyptian cotton. In your head, you can kind of run the math. Now, okay, for this one, I'll need 5 tailors. I'll need like 8 yards of chiffon and 4 yards of Egyptian cotton. Multiplied by this, multiplied by this. Okay, it's looking like this job will be like around that kind of 650K. But to be on the safe side, I would tell the woman, let's say 900. So you now tell the woman that, okay, ma, based on what we're discussing, all these things to cost anything between 950K to about 650K. Is that something you'd be willing to invest in for your daughter's wedding? And then you keep quiet and hear what she has to say. You've given her a range. If the person shouts and says, 650K, you have your answer. This person is not worth spending time with. Excuse me. If the woman says, 650, Kai, is it negotiable? Okay, we have room. You didn't say between 950 and 650, and she didn't run away. She said, that's 650. Is it negotiable? You now know that this is the kind of person that if you play with them, you end with 600 or maybe 580. But there's room. So using this simple, that's a very, the first time you meet them, the first time over the call, using this easy range, budget range something, is a very easy way to figure out, am I talking to the right person? And then plus, a budget range doesn't commit you to anything because you told the person anything between 950 and 650. If you end up at 1.1, it's still close. You say, oh, ma, when we're talking that time, I just gave you a rough guess just based on my head. But now that we've gone in and I've looked, blah blah blah, you get. So, Emmanuel Francis, if you're scared, use a range. Any other person who is listening, use a range. So Emmanuel continued. The issue now, Emmanuel said, is that the woman wants Emmanuel to start solving the problem first. Then, when she starts to see results, it is then that they will talk about payment. And you see, Emmanuel, this is my fear. If you are my younger brother, this is where I would have seized your phone. I'm serious. If you're my younger brother, at this point, I would have collected your phone so that this woman can't call you again. She wants you. You've already gone to see her like 3 times. She now wants you to start the work. You'll be shooting video, you'll be editing, you pay for ad every. Then when she now sees results, when Her Majesty now sees results in the future, then you people will talk about payment. Emmanuel, sorry to be this blunt, but if there's any definition of a bad idea, this one, yeah, it's a bad idea. Except if there's some other thing that is involved that you have not told me. But me, if anybody says define bad idea, I will describe exactly what is happening here and I'll say bad idea. So you're a fintech, you want to sell your services, if you're stuck in this kind of situation, bad idea. You're an architect, you're stuck in this kind of situation, bad idea. If you're a caterer, you're stuck in this kind. In fact, a caterer will not allow themselves to be in this situation because the caterer will have to buy rice, beans, amala, meat, and the money has to come from somewhere. So caterers will never make this kind of mistake. Bad idea, Mr. Emmanuel. Bad idea. Now, this is how people get compensated for their services, right? Mr. Emmanuel, listen clearly. Any other person who is here, listen clearly. This is how most people get paid for their services. If you're a salary earner, you get paid at the end of the month, and it's not really tied to performance. Because if people are not happy with how a salary earner is performing, they just sack them after a while. So, Mr. Emmanuel, you need to be clear with this woman. Like, okay, what's going on? Madam, is it that you want to hire me as a salary earner? I'll be your staff. We need to be clear. If I'm a salary earner, okay, no problem. This is the job description. How much I pay me at the end of the month? Okay, no problem. Yeah, more they go. But at least it's clear. I'm a salary earner. Then, for people who get paid on performance, aka salespeople, there are some people who get 100% commission. That is, I'm not giving you shishi only until you close the deal. But even then, for those kind of people, they don't wait until they close the deal before they start discussing. They discuss now at the beginning that, okay, how much is my commission? What does close the deal mean? Because some people, close the deal means the person signed the contract. Some other person, close the deal means not only did they sign contract, but they paid money and then the money has cleared. It is then I will settle you. Some people, it is a matter of the person signed contract, they paid, the money cleared, then we'll now give it like 3 weeks to be sure there's no issue. After that, then I'll pay you. But all these things are discussed ahead of time. It is not a matter of when I'm satisfied, I'll pay you. Never you be in that position where somebody is saying, when I'm satisfied, I'll pay you. Never. If it is 100% commission, oh, no problem. It's cool. But we will discuss that now. In your own case now, Mr. Emmanuel, the reason why I say it's a bad idea is because what you're doing is you're creating content. You're doing social media manager. As a content provider, I'm telling you, Mr. Emmanuel, you are not 100% responsible for the success of any campaign that you create. You are not responsible for that. If you do a brilliant job, a brilliant campaign, and then 100 leads come in, But this woman is a quarrelsome woman. She will use her own mouth and chase away all the customers. Then at the end of the day, she will look at you and say, the campaign didn't do anything. And then she won't pay you. Meanwhile, you ran a good campaign. But maybe she has bad mouth or she's not good at sales. It's there are too many factors that determine success that go beyond you. You can do your absolute best. And maybe she has a sales team, but the sales team is useless. Maybe they are lazy, so they don't respond to leads on time. Because of that, revenue does not come in. She now look at you and say, I can't pay you. So even if you're going to discuss all these things ahead of time, the criteria for success, you have to discuss it. Now, madam, when we say success, what do we mean? Like if I run this campaign now, normally, madam, it's as if 50-50 people come into the shop every day. So if I run this campaign and we see 100 people coming in, regardless of whether the deal closes or not, look, I don't know, but you have to work out something. And just know that success in this case is not in your hand. You've done the one that you can do, which is you've created the content, you're managing the page. When people come in, the person that is talking to them, are they trained? Do they have the skills to be able to close the deal? Then there are other groups of salespeople who are paid not 100% commission, but they're paid on base and then commission. Base just means small salary. It just means, you know what, I'll be giving you 100K every month just so that you buy toothpaste, you buy soap, you buy credit, you look fresh and you can show up on time. But the real money will come when you close a deal. When you close every deal, we give you 6%, we give you 3%, we give you 10%, blah, blah, blah. Now, Emmanuel, even for those people, all these things are discussed ahead of time. It is never when I'm satisfied, I'll pay you. No. So, Emmanuel, there are some things you need to discuss with Madam that these things are not clear. Does she want you to be a salary earner? Oh, okay, cool. No problem. Just be clear with Madam that, sure, no problem. I'll be a salary earner. But, Madam, you won't stop my side hustle. Just be clear. If that's the case. Then, if it's 100% commission, you have to be very clear. What does success mean? When am I getting paid? All those sorts of things. If it is base plus salary, you need to discuss all those things. So, this is a very bad idea because compensation is going to be discussed at a later date. So, as a salesperson, as a business owner, if you're ever in a situation where money is going to be discussed at a future date, you are in a bad position, you are in a losing position. Trust me, you are in a losing position. I can tell you that for free. So, in my own opinion, run. Emmanuel, if you're my younger brother, I will seize your phone at this point. I will seize your phone for 1 week so she can't reach you. Not a good deal. Maybe there's something you haven't told me. If she's your auntie, maybe like she's your mom's younger sister or something. Okay, well, okay, that changes the dynamics. But removing all these other things, because your auntie won't want to screw you like that. Because if she does, she will have to talk to her sister. So if you remove all these side things, she's your auntie. Even church member self, I won't be confident because church member, when money is involved, that's when you see their true color. So, bad idea. So, Emmanuel continued. He said that solving this woman's problem will be capital intensive because he'll have to come up with a content strategy. He'll have to come up with a content calendar. He will have to work on her page and work on her branding. Then he'll have to shoot content and then he'll have to run paid advertisements. And yes, Emmanuel, I agree with you, which is precisely why I say it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. You do brain work, you work on Instagram, you do your designs, then you now go and rent camera to shoot stuff and everything. You now pay for ads, and then she now says, "Hey, it didn't work." Oh boy, it's a nightmare, Emmanuel. It is a nightmare. Then Emmanuel continues. I don't know if I'll be able to convince her that an upfront payment is required for these services before we can make anything work. Okay. Now, Emmanuel, listen up. Excuse me, and any other person who is listening, because too many Nigerians think that as a salesperson or as a business owner, it is your job to convince. Right now, listen up. All right, everybody hears the truth. It's not in your job to convince anybody about anything. In fact, you can't convince anybody about anything. You can't. The best you can do is to find somebody who is already motivated. Then you go along with that motivation. So, Emmanuel, if you're not married, you can't convince any girl to marry you. The best you can do is to find a girl who is already predisposed to being married and who is already predisposed to being married to people like you. Then With that motivation, you will now follow her, the yarn, and hopefully all things, you know, working to the glory of God. Next year, you will invite us for wedding. But to say you will convince a girl to marry you, it's not possible. You can't convince anybody to do nothing. The best you can do in relationships or in business is to find somebody who is already predisposed. I know their motivation. Then let me follow them. Let's be walking along. Let's see how it will work out. That's the best you can do. You don't convince anybody to do anything. So if there's any business owner, any salesperson, any founder, any whatever, you've been laboring under the impression that you can convince somebody to do something, I'm here to set you free. You can't convince anybody to do nothing. You can't. Just look for people who are already predisposed. Then follow those people who are already predisposed. Brian Tracy likes to talk about the balance of probability. Sorry, increasing the odds in our favor. Then with time, you increase the odds in your favor, something good should come out. So your job is just, Mr. Emmanuel, the next time you're talking to another prospect, look for a woman who has a, sorry, not woman, look for a prospect, man or woman, who has a problem that you can solve. Make sure this person thinks it's a big enough problem to solve. One way that we find out when people think it's a big enough problem is you just ask them, like, okay, madam, so this advertising campaign, if we don't run this, assuming we can't run this advertising campaign now, like, what's the worst that will happen? You just ask her. If she says, nothing now, we'll continue as we've been continuing, that person doesn't have a problem. If you ask somebody that kind of question, like, okay, ma, just in case this conversation drag for too long and we can't start this advertising thing by Monday, like, what's the worst that will happen? Like you just ask her like that, and she says, like how? Do you know how much rent I'm spending in this shop every single month? That any which way, by force by fire, we're starting this thing next month. That kind of person who talks like that has a problem. The person thinks that this is a big enough problem that needs solving. Then make sure that you have a conversation so that both of you are in agreement around, financial issues. You don't have to nail down every single thing, but the key items, it could be between this and this, okay, and we will need a deposit of this amount, and this is how the balance is going to be paid and when. So you don't have to narrow it down like that. But once you have those, it's kind of hazy, but we're kind of agreeing. Okay, we can be continuing. And in your own case, Mr. Emmanuel, make sure the person is willing to put down financial commitment. For somebody like me, which is my own is consulting. I'm not doing any work on behalf of the client. So, like, if shit hits the fan, worst case scenario, I've wasted my time. I didn't pay an extra crew. I didn't rent camera. I didn't, worst case scenario, I've just wasted my time. Emmanuel, you will be in a huge hole. The person that you rented camera from will be like, oh boy, how far? Pay me. The woman will now say, I'm not paying you. And then now you are stuck in the middle. Okay, so Emmanuel, remember what I said, and everybody listening. What we're trying to do is we're not trying to convince anybody. We're trying to find somebody who is predisposed. If the person is not predisposed, walk away. If the person cannot answer any of these questions that you're going to ask them, walk away. In her own case, if this woman is not, if you are not in agreement about the money, and if she's not willing to put any money down, walk away. If you continue, you are taking a risk. You are trusting on that woman's church mind, and you are trusting that she's a good Christian. If she's not a good Christian, you're in trouble. So essentially, these are some of the things that Emmanuel and I have been chatting back and forth. So he showed me, some of our products, things like that. But I still told him more, and that's why Emmanuel, I'm being very like this in this episode, because I suspect that the next meeting she's calling for, that you still want to go. So I've told you in the text message, and I'm telling you now, this is not a good deal at all. Don't take it. So that is why, Emmanuel, I now started asking you, do you have other people that you're talking to? I've told you guys in the old podcast about that girl that broke my heart, when I was a teenager, and I was crying. My younger sister came and said, big bro, why are you crying? I said, this girl broke my heart. My sister said, no, 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 there are other fishes in the water. And I was like, not true, there are other fishes in the water. I didn't cry, I washed my face. And I went back into the field. There are other fishes in the water. If you are not chasing other people, anybody that sees that you're desperate, they will use you to do shaggy. They will run you ragged. You can't be talking to only this woman. You guys be talking to other people. So Emmanuel admitted that he's talking to one other woman, but that's not enough. You can't be talking to two people in a month and think that we're going to build a good business. My own recommendation, well, things are different, but as a general rule, I would say let's be talking to like 4 or 5 people every single week. From those 4 or 5, let's see if we can get one meeting. At least we're having 4 meetings every single month. Mhm. At the end of the year, 4 meetings in a month, Abby. That's four. Then 4 times 12 is what's that? That's 48. Now, except if your village people are against you, how will you say you have 48 meetings in a year and you didn't make good money? How? So, Mr. Emmanuel, we we need more people to talk to. That is our only protection against this kind of thing. If you enter somewhere and the person wants to treat you like Mugu, you say, "Oh, thank you. God bless you. I'm coming. I'm coming." And then you fade and you move. The other fishes in the water, go and fish. Go and fish. Emmanuel, I'm begging you. It's sounding like you go for that meeting. I'm begging you, my brother. Don't take that. Don't go for that meeting. Don't take that offer. Don't take that offer at all, at all, at all, at all, at all. So there's one other person you're talking to. Good. We thank God. Go and look for more people to talk to. However, it is that you found these two people, go back and do the same thing and double your efforts. See if you can find 4 other people and start that talking. Because you're not in a good position at all. The balance of power is off. The other party is more powerful, and they know she has gotten you. First of all, she says she won't pay you until she's satisfied. You didn't object. Then she has called you for 3 meetings. You have come. You think she doesn't know that you're in her palm? She knows that. She knows. Any other person who is in this situation, you honestly, if you don't know, I'm telling you now, the other person knows that I'm in control. That this guy, I have him here. This is his pin code. If I press it, the guy will come. And it's a normal human thing. Just like some of you reach out to me for free advice. If anybody can collect anything for you for free, they will. You are desperate. In sales, we call it commission breath. You're desperate. People will sniff it out. They will take advantage of you. Go and get a bigger prospecting list. Go and talk to more people. 5 people every week. See if you can set one appointment. Let's take it from there. So we continue gisting. Let me scroll. Let me scroll. Sorry, hold on. I'm looking at the messages now. Let's see. Okay, the lady has called for another meeting. Again, bad idea. You've already started spending money. Oh. The job hasn't started. You spent money. You've driven to our office 3 times already, or you've taken transport to our office 3 times already. She wants you to come again. She has not paid a single dime. Now, this is why I say we should get good at using the phone. When you know how to use the phone, you can pre-qualify somebody. You can give somebody a WhatsApp call. You can talk to somebody over a WhatsApp call. You can figure out that, oh, this is a bad idea. And the only thing you've wasted is your data. Wasting data is more cost effective than wasting transport fare. So, Emmanuel, the next time Madam or another kind of Madam calls you, come to the office tomorrow. This is what you do over the phone. You say, oh, sorry, Madam, I'm not available to come to the office tomorrow because I have other commitments. Madam, can we talk over the phone now so I can figure out how it is that I can help? Okay, ma. So the thing that you want us to discuss, if I was able to come, what is it that you want us to discuss when we get to the office? Just let me know now, man. Let me see if I can deal with this thing. Oh, mommy. Okay, you want me to just come up with schematics, Abby? I should just put together a small invoice and then a small plan. How many videos we will shoot, how much it will cost, this and that. Oh, that's what you want me to do, mommy. Okay, madam, no problem. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that today. No problem. But madam, If I submit that thing today, how soon do you want us to start on this project? The benefit of this kind of question, by the way, when you ask them, okay, madam, if I submit invoice today, how soon do you want us to start? You're trying to gauge urgency. If the person doesn't have urgency, there's no hope. If the person says, well, if you give it to me first, let me think about it. I'm telling you, that person is not ready. They don't have a need. They will carry the proposal and they will sleep on it. If the person responds and says, you self, you're asking me this question, didn't I tell you that if I have my way, the campaign should be running now, self? Okay, making progress. Then remember what I said about money. You now tell madam before you go for that meeting. So, mommy, if I come up with this budget, okay, based on what we're saying, it's looking like you can reach maybe like that kind 900K on the high end, and then maybe like around that kind 600K if the thing goes down. So, mommy, how do you see it? Is that the kind of thing that you're looking to spend? It's going to be like between 900K, maybe like that kind 600K. So, mommy, how far? Should be past your power. I mean, however it is that you talk, you get what I'm saying, and then you hear. If you have this kind of conversation over WhatsApp call, based on how the woman is answering these things, you know whether it's a good idea or not. So, Emmanuel, you should be having conversations like these with prospects every single time because it is not everybody that is worth your time. Have these conversations over the phone where you can, and then filter out people over the phone who are not worth your time. Then, when you find somebody that is worth your time and the deal looks sweet, you show up. Like the previous guy, the example that we gave, excuse me, I can't remember the guy's name. I think that podcast episode was like two weeks ago. Sorry, 2 days ago. The guy in software development. If you have this kind of conversation over WhatsApp, and it turns out that the woman is a DG in NNPC, they want to revamp website, and yeah, she's okay with the fact that the budget could be anything between 30 million to 50 million. Oh wow! By all means, for that kind of thing, you bath, freshen up, borrow your friend's suit, drive down to NNPC, and then have this meeting because we've spoken over the phone, and it's looking like it makes sense. It's not a guarantee, but it's looking like it adds up. So Emmanuel continued. The woman wants him to draft. Anyway, he went for the meeting. I didn't see it on time, so he had already went for that meeting. And the woman said she wants him to draft business requirements and cost documents. You see, this is why I say we should have some of these conversations over the phone. This kind of thing, Emmanuel, there was no need for you to have gone for that meeting. She could have told you this thing over the phone. But the balance of power is in her favor, so she's just pressing the button. She knows that if she press, you will come, so she will continue to press. It's like that. She will squeeze as much value as she wants from you. In fact, I like to tell people don't draft a proposal until the prospect has agreed to a few things. If you're drafting a proposal, you don't know the possible start date, you don't know if they're comfortable with the budget range, and you don't know when they'll be willing to review the proposal with you. Why are you drafting a proposal? Why? They will take the proposal and they'll say, let me think about it. You will send the proposal, they'll say, oh, seen, acknowledged, and then that's the last time you hear from them. Before you send a proposal, just know first, do these people have a possible start date in mind? Are they comfortable with the budget range? And have they agreed that they will meet with you to review the proposal once you send it? So, Emmanuel, this you say something like this. So, oh, mommy, no problem now. There should be no proposal. No problem. That one I sure now is okay. So, madam, mommy, if I send this proposal by Friday morning, sure we can do WhatsApp call Saturday morning. Let's just go over the terms of the proposal. If madam says, oh yeah, sure, sure, sure. Okay, good. Send it. We have hope. If madam says, Saturday morning, eh, you know, just send it. Let me think about it. Let me think about it. You already know what's going to happen. You send it and ghost mode. So, Emmanuel has already said he's going back to her office on Monday. And he said me, I am crying that Emmanuel, please don't go. I've said it so many times in the text message. I don't know how I'm supposed to say it again. Please don't go. Don't go. That's for those of you who know that song. So, Emmanuel, please don't go. It's not a good idea to continue to invest time and invest money in this relationship. So, Emmanuel, this is what you do instead. This is my recommendation to you. If you're my younger brother, this is what I would tell you. The woman said, come to my office on Monday. Okay. You agreed that you will go and see her on Monday. Okay, no problem. Today, that we're doing this podcast, let me check now. Today is Friday. Okay, good. We have 2 days. So, Emmanuel, this is what you do. Sunday evening, you buzz this woman, but then she'll be done with church. And then you tell her, oh, madam, I have some good news. He said, hey, what's the good news? Say the proposal is ready. I'm done with the proposal. And the woman said, ah, very good, very good. You know, I said, but madam, there's some things I wanted to discuss with you first before I show up for that meeting tomorrow morning. Sure, you're okay. We can continue talking. He said, no problem. I continue now. Okay. So, madam, based on all the things that we've discussed so far, because we've had like 5 meetings already, I've seen this, based on everything we've come across so far, madam, I have three different packages, three different options for you. The most expensive package is 1.5, the most affordable package is like that kind of 600k. So, is this a comfortable amount you're willing to invest to get more customers for your business? Now, Emmanuel, this is a trick. When you get to this stage, as you're given the range, you will keep quiet. You will say nothing again. Nothing until she talks. Whatever it is that she says after this, you will know her real mind. That is what you will know whether you should go for this meeting on Monday or not. Then, depending on how she talks, if the talk is favorable, because you know what will you will need to produce, you ask another question. Say, madam, will you be willing to cover XYZ percent or XYZ costs as production, XYZ amount for production costs beforehand? So whatever it is that you need, Emmanuel, you ask for it specifically now on this call before you show up for tomorrow's meeting. If Ruma says she know they drop shishi, then honestly, what are you going to our office again on Monday morning for? What for? Well, like I said, if it's your mom's younger sister, well, I don't know. But apart from all these sorts of things, what else are you going to our office for? Now, assuming everything works well, she says she's willing to drop 50%, she's willing to drop 20%, she's willing to drop 200k for production cost. Your response will now be, oh, madam, fantastic, no problem. I will be at your office tomorrow morning. And ma, when I show up, I want us to discuss a few things. You said that the balance will be when you're successful. So, ma, when I show up tomorrow, let's just discuss the yardstick. Like when I'm going to get paid my balance. When you say successful, what do you mean? I just want us to be clear on a few things, ma, because I don't like to quarrel with my client. I want to make sure everybody's happy. So when I come to the office tomorrow, ma, that's what we'll discuss. Sure, you're okay with this thing. Let's assume that she says yes. Okay, cool. No problem, ma. I'll send you the proposal now on WhatsApp. When I come tomorrow, we'll continue talking. I'm looking forward to working with you, ma. Happy Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Blah, 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 blah. Then that's how you end the call. So, uh, Emmanuel, if you're my younger brother, first of all, I'll seize your phone so that you don't talk to this woman again. But assuming you want to talk to her, this is the conversation you have with her. Call her Sunday night. In fact, call her Saturday night in case she doesn't pick so that you can try again Sunday and then have this conversation before you show up on Monday. But before you accept any deal with this woman, Emmanuel, make sure that we are in agreement on a budget. It doesn't have to be an exact amount, but the woman says anything between 900k and 1.5 is okay. If the thing past 1.5 is beyond my power. If you have that, that's good. Then let's also be sure that we have kind of like a start date. Then we also need to have an idea of payment terms. Are we taking deposit? When are we paying the balance? What are the timelines? Then make sure we know what the performance, how you're going to evaluate your performance. Is it number of leads that come into the store? Is it number of people who buy? Is it number of people who buy over a certain threshold? And then how long is this thing going to be? Because Emmanuel, another problem for you again is sometimes you run the campaign works, and sometimes people buy today on day one, but sometimes people buy 2 weeks later, sometimes people buy 2 months later. How are we going to assess the campaign? So there's a lot that needs to be discussed. But me personally, Emmanuel, if I have not made myself clear, let me just say it again. I personally am not comfortable with this deal because too many things are unclear. and also because the balance of power is off. And let's be frank, Mr. Emmanuel, we're in Nigeria, all right? We're in Nigeria. Remember that. We're not in the UK. We're not in America. We're in Nigeria. Anybody who has used you like this to, you get me? Anybody who is seeing you like this, don't be annoyed, Mr. Emmanuel. Okay? This applies to everybody. Anybody who is seeing you like this, the person is seeing you like boy boy. The person is not seeing you as a competent service professional. The person is not looking at you as a competent consultant. They don't rate you. Which is why if you're my younger brother, I would seize your phone. I'll give it back to you on Tuesday after Monday has passed. So Emmanuel, sorry to be blunt, right? I'm not trying to open your in public. I'm just trying to pass across this message in very, very clear terms, not just for your own benefit, but also for other people who are listening to this thing and who are in similar situations. Because there are people who are in who are in this situation, and all of us has faced this situation. I've faced this situation before. I have faced this kind of situation before, and then you're not the only person facing it. And please, Manuel, when you pass through it, make sure you talk to other people so that they too they don't have to pass through and go through the rubbish that I have gone through and that you have gone through and that some of the people listening to this podcast have gone through. So remember, this is the reason why I keep saying here that listen, all of us listening to this podcast, right? We are competent professionals, and no matter what it is you do, you will think of yourself as a consultant. I am a consultant. I will conduct myself accordingly. Nobody's going to use my head to play Koso, just be doing my head here and there and here and there. No, I am a consultant. I am a consultant. I am a consultant. I am a professional. I have subject matter expertise. I am the professional here. Some of these people have more money than us. Does not mean they should use that to disrespect us at all. Anyway, let me stop here. I think I've already been talking for 1 hour and I think I've already passed across a message. So if you want to connect with me, just like Emmanuel did, you can call, send a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. So thanks for your time and attention. You want to get added to the WhatsApp group, let me know. And please, Emmanuel, don't take this bad deal at all, at all, at all, at all. If it's your mom's sister, go and talk to your mom. That look, I'm uncomfortable about one or two things like that. Go talk to your mom. Mom, she will cover you. She will protect you. So yeah, that's it. I'll catch you all some other time.